Hi, Gart. Welcome to the show. You've been on the channel before,
I
but
have, yeah.
yeah, so here you're today with us in person, and I'm
Right.
so excited to see you. Wish I could see you, but I'm sure that she's here. Today we're all the way to Christianity,
Right.
and there's a whole lot that's happened in between, back when you were an atheist and now that you're a Christian. We'll talk about all the steps that kind of led there, some of the science that because your background is in, what is it,
Biochemistry.
biochemistry, and so your background as a scientist, but that's actually what led you to embrace God's existence and then eventually to become a Christian.
Right.
So let's start at the very beginning. Tell me about your upbringing. I know we've talked about this on the channel before, but let's kind of go through it a little bit more in some more detail.
Sure. Well, yeah, I won't go into too much because, as you said, we have covered it, and it's in my book, so people can find it. But I grew up basically in a family, 3 generations of atheists. They were not only atheists, they were very left wing. My parents were members of the American Communist Party in the 1930s, which is rare. And so their atheism was very strong, very militant, and that's what I grew up with. I assumed that there was not be any such thing as God, or it's not possible for there to be a God. Totally materialistic. My father was a chemist, scientist, so that was the worldview I grew up in. And also the same worldview I had when I went to college, where I started studying chemistry, chip off the old block. And when you're a chemistry major, you also have to learn some physics. So I was learning things about quantum mechanics and things in physics that seemed a little strange to me, but I didn't really worry about it too much. And then eventually I decided I really wanted to study life. And rather than be a biologist, I wanted to study the chemistry of life. So I went to biochemistry, where I got my PhD. And what happened was that even in college, as a young man, I began to feel something missing in my life. And I later realized it was some sense of spirituality, which I think is very important for all people. But I found, whatever that you want to call that, in science. First, I was thinking, well, the science is great because it gives you a real sense of purpose, a real sense of doing something good in the world, and it's true, so it's great. But there was one catch, which was that what I was learning in science didn't jibe with the materialistic worldview. And I couldn't have said it that way. I just felt it. For example, in graduate school, process by which proteins are made in cells, and that's a very complex process that involves a tremendous amount of molecules interacting with each other, and the complexity is just incredible. And I remember feeling like a chill going down my spine. It was like, this is amazing. How did this get here? And it was something that I couldn't answer. Later, of course, like most biologists, I just come up with the answer, which is evolution. But at that time, I kind of was, and where I during the weather science was really the only that people have yet ready to believe in God, and that a lot It required me to kind of